Welcome back. Okay, Bitcoin is on the verge of a possible drop towards about 76,000, right? Why am I saying that? Okay, so that is the next level that could be that Bitcoin could be breaking towards to if we don't hold this current level right now. I'm going to be talking about some key levels to be looking out for, what the Bitcoin bulls need to actually print on this chart in order for me to be more short term bullish, right? I do have quite a bit of longs in the market. I do have quite a bit of I do have a bag of altcoins, right, that are taking a beating right now. But let's, I'm not panicking, right? I am a trader. I am not, permanently long or short, but, in terms of just a more medium term lookout, like for the, rest of this year, I'm still feeling pretty bullish about this market. But in the short term here, we're going to be talking about this. I'll take you guys through my daily thoughts when I review the charts. I look at the charts basically constantly when I'm not doing anything. This is basically what I'm looking at for fun. Okay. So now let's see what levels do we need to be paying attention to, right? Am I paying attention to in order for this market, basically Bitcoin, the crypto markets, because Bitcoin drives almost, if not all, of the entire crypto markets. If Bitcoin is down, eventually the altcoins will go down with it. I mean, you're going to see some short term pumps here and there, but they're probably going to be lower highs. And, very shortly after, they might just, they're very likely to go back down with Bitcoin. So what are we looking at here? So I talked about a bear flag that looked like the bears were trapped. But we were still in the bear flag. We needed to break out of that bear flag in order to see more bullish price action. However, Bitcoin did break down from that bear flag, which I did mention. If you guys haven't seen my previous couple of days videos, do take a look at that because I tried a bear flag and I acknowledge the chances of breaking down, right? Even though I did take a long position, I still have that long position in Solana, right? It was a leverage position, and I thought it would, put in a good bounce for me to get some short term profits. But I am now holding the bag, right? But that's fine. It's how I risk manage, and if I can manage, if I can afford to wait it out, right? But that's unique to my situation. Um, and I definitely this is definitely not financial advice, right? So basically, what we're seeing here is we see the target of that bear flag haven't been reached. I mentioned the target was about 82.5 thousand. We have certainly got there and some more. And I usually see, I have seen targets, just either continue breaking. I mean, price action continue breaking after the targets because of either FOMO or panic. So we have got down to about 82,000. So let's see what the price action is going to be doing right now. Okay, so since we have broken down from that bear flag, and I also mentioned that there was a falling wedge pattern that we have actually broke down from as well, which is not a good sign for the bulls, right? So in my opinion here, I think we're a little too far away from the bottom trend line of that falling wedge to even consider it. So I'm gonna take that out of the picture, right? So what we're really looking at here is this new trend on this hourly time frame, and it is going to be this was the breakdown point from that falling wedge and that bear flag, if I remember correctly. So this is basically the new, the new trend that has been set by that breakdown. So what I'm looking for right now, in order for me to even feel bullish in the short term, would be if we start seeing higher highs and higher lows as a rebound here on this hourly time frame. Now I'm looking at the hourly time frame because this is a new trend, right? We have freshly broken down from that bear flag and that falling wedge. So this has been the price action since the breakdown, and I am looking for a higher high and a higher low in order to actually feel short-term bullish here, right? And what I'm seeing as a higher high is currently, first of all, Bitcoin needs to break above 84,000 and get an hourly candle close above 84,000, right? And then the next step would be, if we can actually get back above, I would say about 85,000. That was basically the breakdown point, and that was, that was a high there. That was a lower high, but in order for me to actually see that we're rebounding from this breakdown, you want to see some higher highs and higher lows here, right? So first of all, I think it's going to be 84,000, and then second would be about 85,000 hourly candle closes above these two key levels. Then the bulls could be, looking pretty good as of a rebound, right? So that's what I'm looking at. On the downside here, right? Very important on the downside, okay? I think first of all, if we actually break down from this falling wedge pattern, which usually breaks to the upside, right? If we actually break down from this pattern here, uh, we could be seeing more downside, right? And the next levels that we're really seeing here, that I'm paying attention to, we really don't have that much support down here, okay? If we actually look into the daily time frame here, I mean, since we actually had that pump back in November, we really haven't built that much support down here. We've been consolidating here for quite a bit, right? In this about 80 to 82,000 zone, right? So if we actually break down from this, as you guys can see, if we actually break down from the zone right here, that's about 80 to 82,000, which is basically where we're at. Then we're looking at, not much support down here, really. 78,000, right? 76,000, which is basically where the weekly 50 SMA is at, right? The gray line. So those are going to be some levels that Bitcoin can be breaking down to before seeing what happens. Okay, very important to be paying attention to the stock market as well, because there's very high correlation between the S&P 500, which is what I keep track of, the S&P 500 futures, which, the price action has already gone down to the weekly 50 SMA, which is the gray line here already. So this could be leading Bitcoin, right? And could be a sign that Bitcoin could be coming down to the weekly 50 SMA as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting ready to just, possibly put in some longs at bounce zones, right? And take a very short profit, but going to be risk managing very carefully, right? In case this price action continues lower. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, and you should not follow what I'm doing, especially if you don't know the logic behind what I'm doing, right? You got to have your own strategy, your own research, and all that. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor, right? It is very risky business. Now, this basically put in my update for today. Like, subscribe, comment if you guys do find this helpful. I'll see you guys next time.